Hello everybody and welcome back to Serena's Soapery. Today we're going to be doing a Harvest Moon soap. I actually have a couple of fall vendor shows coming up, so I want to make a few fall soaps. So this was one of my ideas. It's going to be quite a lengthy process. There's going to be a lot of steps to make all the embeds and stuff. So first up I have to make the moon. So I'm thinking a orange swirly moon, and this is the column mold that we'll be using, the small column mold from Crafter's Choice. So I'm going to start off by making the shreds that are going to go into this moon because I want it to be two-toned. It's going to be like a light orange and dark orange. So let's get started making the dark orange shred part. Let's do 3 ounces. So I think for the color, I'm gonna do mostly Tangerine Dream with a little bit of this gingerbread brown just to darken it a little bit. I think I'm actually just gonna do orange because the brown seems to be darkening it up too much. I think I might add a little bit of white to this just to anchor that color so it's not completely see-through, and then I'm going to add more orange. I think that's what this needs. And let's do some more orange. All right, I'm liking that. Let's add this to our mold. And while we wait for that to set up, let's do our mountain embed. I'm gonna move this off to the side for now. Okay, so I'm actually gonna be making this in the 10 bar mold. So my vision for this soap is kind of a dark and moody soap. So for the mountain, I think I'm going to swirl black and gray. I'm gonna add a little bit of white into the container that's gonna be gray. Only like this much, not a lot. Now the key to good swirling is your temperature. So I'm gonna be paying attention to that this whole time. I'm gonna be using some TKB black oxide, I think. I don't know, the label has worn off quite a while ago. If anyone has like black colorant recommendations, that's better than this because this is so freaking messy. It's so annoying. I mean, the color it achieves is great, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the mess. So first I mixed it all up because it can separate. So I mixed it all up in the bag, and now I'm just gonna pour some into this black one to start. Okay, that looks pretty good. I might add a little more actually. It's looking a little transparent. All right, that looks pretty good. So let's add some into here. Definitely gonna be adding less into this one. Nice. All right, I definitely need more because I want it to be like a dark gray. That looks pretty good. I might even add a little bit more because I want the swirls to be kind of subtle. All right, I think that's good. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Man, I was sure I was gonna mess that up because that black colorant can give me some problems sometimes, but I'm glad I did not mess that up. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with these colors. Let's get these bubbles off. And let me check the temperature. All right, 129, 128, okay. We're getting there, we're getting there. I wanna get these as low as possible, like 1 teens, if that's possible. So I'm gonna wait a little bit longer for these to cool down. In the meantime, I'm gonna feed my cat. So I'm gonna be making a mountain shape. I don't know if I explained that. So I'm gonna make a mountain with these colors, and I'm gonna prop this up on its side so it's like triangular. So there's less waste when I go to unmold this. So I'm gonna unmold it and then use it as an embed in the final design. So you'll see what I mean. All right, the black is at 114 and the gray is at 117. I think we might be ready to pour. And you don't want to over swirl. That's another mistake people make, is over swirling. So I'm really gonna try to not do that. All right, these swirls are looking pretty good in here. Here's what those swirls look like up close. That is why you wait for the perfect temperature instead of, you know, being impatient like I usually am. But that's gonna be really pretty on the inside, I think. So we're gonna wait for this to set up, and we gotta wait for our orange shreds to set up, and then we'll be back for the assembly. All right, we are back and our orange soap has set up. So we're gonna go ahead and shred this. Yeah, I'm gonna use these big holes here. Oh, it's so sticky when it's like freshly set up. Okay, while my hands are dirty, I'm just gonna go ahead and put these shreds into this mold here. Let me get a chopstick. This will help me push down the shreds. This part is definitely a little bit tedious, but the effect that it has will definitely pay off. I'm not trying to pack it in super tight. I'm just trying to get a little bit of color variation in each bar of soap. That's basically my goal. And you can see there, it hasn't quite reached the bottom, so I'm just gonna push it down here. And then you can see there how it's going to the bottom. That is what we want. All right, let's mix up our yellow color to pour over this. I'm gonna add a little bit of white to this, I think. Just about that much. Oh, not that. Okay. Now when I pour this, I also don't want this to be too hot because it will just straight up melt the shreds. And that's not what we want. We want it to be hot enough to adhere to the shreds and everything, but if it's too hot, it'll melt and then it'll all just combine into one color. So let's mix up the color for this. I'm gonna do some golden pineapple from Crafter's Choice. And then I'm gonna do just a little bit of the tangerine dream that we did earlier for the shreds, just a little bit, just so it's not like totally yellow. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good color. I think that's looking pretty good. Oh yeah, 111, that's great. Not too hot at all. So let's go ahead and pour. Gotta wait for it to seep down a little bit. I can see that it's getting down to the bottom of the molds, which is good. I do want to try to reduce air bubbles as much as I can. So I'm gonna just kind of wiggle this around. I'm kind of trying to fill those air bubbles. I feel like there are still some places the soap didn't get into, so I'm just kind of using my chopstick to mix everything up and try to make sure that there are as little air bubbles as possible, because that'll really, that's not the look we're going for, you know? So hopefully I did not like over mix that. That's looking pretty good. I can see both of the distinct colors in the mold. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna leave that to set up and we'll be back for that unmolding. And I have some extra yellow soap. I'm gonna go ahead and actually put this into some leaf molds because I'm gonna be making some fall leaf soaps. So let me do that. Let me do that on here so I can move it easily. Awesome, I'm super excited to see how that turns out. In the meantime, I think we can unmold our mountain. Here is what the mountain is looking like. As it sat, it did mix a little more, so I don't know how swirly it's gonna be. I'm a little bit nervous, but let's unmold it and see what's going on. Yeah, from the side so far, it's looking more like a subtle swirl. So basically, we have this rough triangular mountain shape, and I just wanna make sure that it fits on the bottom of this mold. So I'm gonna trim off the sides. It doesn't have to be super precise. And it does not matter if this is even or not, because we're gonna be roughing up this mountain here in a sec. There we go. All right, that's perfect. So I'm basically just gonna make little indentations on the side, so when we do a cross section of the mountain, it's like kind of rough around the edges, you know? So let me just do some carving here. So I'm just taking chunks out like that. So you can see on the cross section here, it's got a bumpy edge. That's kind of what I'm going for. Be very careful when doing this. You can so easily slip and it could be really bad really quick. So if you try this at home, be careful. I have no distinctive like pattern in which way I'm doing this. I'm just kind of hacking it up, you know? So I should even probably go up into that point here and make that point a little jagged as well, not completely even all the way down. Because this soap is soft enough, I'm gonna see if I can do a little bit of carving with the spoon here and just do a little bit of scooping. It's a little bit harder than the knife, but it's not bad. All right, my hand is so slippery. I just like cannot grip the spoon. All right, I'm gonna call that good. I think I've hacked that mountain up enough. All right, so after the moon sets up, we'll be back for the assembly of this mountain bar. All right, we are finally back to assemble the Harvest Moon soap. This is many days later because I did not have enough clear base to finish this soap, so I had to order some more. But it finally came in, we're ready to finish this soap. So first I have to weigh out all of my embeds so I know how much clear soap I need, and then we can finish making this bar finally. All right, all these embeds weigh about 705 grams, and this mold is 1,500 grams. Okay, I'm actually putting the mountain in the silicone mold first and then putting it in the wood mold, just to make sure that the bottom is all touching. And it seems good, so I'm gonna put this in here. And we've got our Harvest Moon here, and I've cut that to size. I might wedge some more pieces of this in between here just to make it a tiny bit longer. All right, let's mix up the background layer and let's get this soap finished. All right, so I'm gonna do this in 2 batches. I need to melt down about 800 grams of soap. So I'm gonna do 600 grams first, put that on top, put my Harvest Moon embed in there, and then I'm gonna do another 200 grams on top of that to encapsulate everything. So let's do the first layer. I'm gonna be coloring the sky a dark purple, so I'm gonna be using Pow Pow Purple from Mad Micas. And I definitely want quite a bit of this. I want it to be very dark. Plus this is a lot of soap, so. Ooh, that's so pretty. Could Could almost double as like a Halloween soap. Oh yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's check the temp. 118-ish. Let's go ahead and spray everything. And you know, I might be able to actually put this embed in first and then pour around it. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna whip up 200 more grams of this. All right, well, let's wait for this to set up and we'll be back for the unmolding. All right, we are back to slice up this Harvest Moon soap. I'm kind of nervous about this one. Ooh. Let me chop off this end. Wow, that's awesome. The mountain did get some good swirls in there. I was worried I over swirled it, but that looks great. I'm super happy. Okay, let me measure this and we'll chop it up. And here's the first bar. That looks awesome. The swirling in the mountain is just great. I mean, look at that swirl. That's so cool. I'm super proud of this bar. I just wish the moon was more round. Like, the mold that I have is a little finicky, but that's okay. Awesome. I'll bring you guys in for a close-up. Okay, you can definitely see it better from this angle. I mean, look at those swirls inside the mountain. And I love how the mica like kind of made these swirls in the sky too. That's super cool. I'm very happy with these bars. And I love how every mountain is different. Like this one is lighter, this one is darker, this one has like dark like on top.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see y'all next time.